Lesson 3. Unlocking Self-Confidence, a Journey into the Science. Welcome back to another lesson with Life Theory from our learning pack on building self-confidence. Did you know that, according to neuroscience, self-confidence can be contagious? There's a phenomenon known as mirror neurons, which explains how when someone performs an action, certain brain cells fire, and when someone observes the action, those same brain cells still fire. You might recall the saying, monkey see, monkey do. Well, Margaret Stewart, a researcher from the Department of Neuroscience at Reaches University, provided a more scientific perspective. Monkey see, monkey's neurons fire as if monkey did, even though, in reality, the monkey didn't. So, surround yourself with confident individuals, and voila, your confidence issues will be resolved. No need for this course, right? If only it were that easy. While we can definitely learn from confident people and even mimic them, we must be careful not to let their confidence highlight our insecurities. One approach aids you, while the other hinders you. However, stopping something from hindering you isn't as difficult as you might think. Studies have shown that simply being aware of how something impacts you can lead to immediate positive change. We all know someone who exudes confidence, someone who effortlessly commands attention when they enter a room. They're bright, engaging, and captivating. It's important to recognize that these individuals are not a threat to you. To transform your admiration into ambition, you must first understand that there's room in this world for multiple people to thrive and be successful. You're building yourself up, and so are they. You're just at different stages in your journey. Once you're comfortable with the person you admire and no longer see them as a threat, you can begin to document the qualities you find appealing. Spend an evening reflecting on this individual, ideally, someone you work with or know personally, as this allows you to observe their interactions more closely. If you can't think of anyone, consider your local friendly barista, a close friend, or a family member. We recommend avoiding celebrities for now, as their lives are vastly different from ours. With your chosen person in mind, write down all the self-confidence traits you admire about them. Examples might include their willingness to take risks, their ability to engage in conversation effortlessly, or their knack for standing up for their beliefs while still being open to others' perspectives. They may volunteer for projects and excel in them, offer compliments and receive them graciously, communicate clearly, or have a unique personal style. Jot down anything that makes you think, wow, I wish I had their confidence. Imagine you're in a quiet, somewhat awkward room, and in walks the person you admire. What do you notice about them? They likely smile, greet everyone, and maybe even make a light-hearted joke about the silence. They introduce themselves to someone nearby, and suddenly, the room's atmosphere shifts. Do you think you could do that? Walk into a room, smile, crack a joke, and introduce yourself? Regardless of what you're thinking, the answer is yes, you can do it. Break it down into 4 simple steps. Smile, greet, make a small joke, and introduce yourself. Practice these tasks out loud and start using them in smaller situations before building up your confidence for larger events. It's scientifically proven that successful entrepreneurs are incredibly self-confident, sometimes even overconfident. Researchers discovered that people are more likely to compete when they believe they're more confident than their opponents. In our minds, confidence equates to ability. However, just like skills, talent, and mood, our confidence levels fluctuate. Our goal is to shift our confidence baseline from 20 to 40% to 60 to 100%, ensuring we never dip below 60%, regardless of how poorly we think we're performing in a given task. It's also crucial to accept that we'll never be 100% confident in everything. You will have doubts and days when you feel like you can conquer the world or struggle with certain tasks. Accepting that confidence levels ebb and flow begins in the mind, which will help you cope when it happens. In our first session, we utilized cognitive behavioral therapy to identify situations that trigger mood changes, recognize the emotions and thoughts they provoke, and provide rational counterarguments for irrational negative thoughts. However, when a negative thought occurs, there's another factor at play. Your brain chemistry changes. Our interpretation of situations affects our hormonal profile. When we perceive a situation as dangerous, even if it isn't, the same hormones will fire as if it were dangerous. For instance, if you need to confront a colleague about their performance, you might anticipate a negative response and mentally prepare for various outcomes. The issue is that your brain interprets these imagined outcomes as real, leading to the release of cortisol, the fight-or-flight hormone. While useful in genuinely threatening situations, cortisol can cause physical symptoms like sweating, increased heart rate, and muscle tension in response to negative thoughts. In reality, When facing a challenging situation, ideas, memories, and the right words often come more naturally than anticipated. The key is to be prepared and know what's important to say. Understanding the science behind our thoughts and behaviors is the first step to enhancing our confidence. So, to recap today's tasks, think of someone you admire and write down 5 confidence markers you can emulate. Observe their interactions and note how they exhibit each marker. Practice mimicking their actions out loud. By doing this, your brain's neurons will fire as if you actually performed the action, making it easier and more natural when the time comes to put it into practice. At Life Theory, we know that some of you love psychology, others science, and some even adore philosophy. So, how can we use philosophy to better understand and improve our self-confidence? That's what we'll explore in our next session. We'll focus on possibly the most impactful technique for boosting your confidence, living life like a stoic philosopher. We can't wait to dive into this fascinating topic with you, and we'll meet you back here for our next lesson.